Good morning. Welcome back to Ready, Set, Connect and our week-long series, Hot Jobs of the Future. My name is Samantha Turner, and I'm the Workforce Development Manager for the Midlands Education and Business Alliance. Today's webinar is about careers in construction. Joining me today is Kyle Caldwell, a recruiter for Chicago Bridge and Iron. Mr. Caldwell is a recruiter for CB&I and will talk with our students and educators about careers in construction, as well as specifically at CB&I and some projects they have going on. In an effort to improve the quality of the webinar, I have placed everybody on mute and ask that you would please stay muted during the presentation. If you have questions, please submit them using the chat box and we will answer those accordingly. This webinar will be recorded, giving you the opportunity to share with other students and parents following our session this morning. And with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Kyle and let him talk to you about careers in construction. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning. My name is Kyle Caldwell, and glad to talk to you all today about opportunities here in our industry in industrial construction, and then also just in construction in general for our state. Most folks, when they first think about construction, they think, I'm going to get my hands dirty, I'm working out in the elements, and while that may be the case, there is opportunity where you can almost write your own paycheck based on the skill sets and the education that you look to if you're wanting to come into our industry here. What you'll see, the big thing here, of course, if you have that creative eye, that analytical thinking, you're looking at wanting to be that person that draws the plan in architecture or pre-construction. There's definitely some opportunities there. What we look for engineer-wise, mechanical engineers, design engineers, fresh coming out of college, you're looking at probably up to 60 to 70 grand for that skill set, for that education. Careers that are involved with the planning and design of construction projects, of course, different occupations here, the interior designer, like I said, civil engineer, landscape architect, or surveyor. What those folks do on a day-to-day basis for industrial construction or design, our engineers kind of design the plan. Just case in point for VC Summer, which is a nuclear station, we're building 2 new power plants out at VC Summer. It's a new technology, a new design called the APS 1000, and what those engineers do is hopefully make a better plan on updating our hydroelectric nuclear power generators. So that's a very critical job in the day-to-day of the construction industry here. Of course, in the skill sets that you see at the bottom, you got to be able to problem solve. Critical thinking is a must. And then if you're looking at engineering as a whole, I do strongly suggest try to specialize in something, whether that's going to be the design aspect of it or the mechanical engineering, and that way you can have a little more opportunity and a little better skill set coming out. So construction as a whole, most people don't know, construction sites are basically mini cities. So you look at a metropolitan area of the Midlands, you could easily say that VC Summer, or even our plant up in Anderson area in the state, upper part of the state at Oconee Nuclear Station, those are actually cities within a city. So some of you on here that you're thinking about construction, but you want to be in human resources, or you want to be like me, recruiting for the construction industry. Pretty much any job that you can think of, that's on a construction site. A bookkeeper, an accountant, a warehouse facilities managers, logistics operations, welders, electricians, what you see here, your specialty trades, plumbers, iron workers. All those folks that you see there are on a construction site day in and day out, and all of them have a certain plan and goal. And So when we go out there and recruit at job fairs and stuff, and folks see our company name or they see the hard hat on our table, they said, I would never even think about construction or that industry. But 9 times out of 10, there's probably an opportunity for you, whether that's in business, even in the emergency management piece. It could be a science degree or an engineer. There's a lot of opportunity in our industry, especially in the state of South Carolina, with what we're seeing of stuff that's getting built, especially in the Midlands here. You look downtown, you'll see cranes all over downtown Columbia now, and high rises going up. There's definitely an opportunity to find a definite meaningful career in our industry here in South Carolina. So a little bit about the maintenance and operation piece. These are your industrial technicians, which is a highly sought after degree or skill set for here in South Carolina. Not only in construction, manufacturing is a big portion of industrial techs as well. And what that person does, they're kind of like a troubleshooter. What you'll see here, if you look at the tasks and responsibilities, there's another one that we call a boilermaker, who's basically has a little bit of welding, a little bit of engineering, kind of the best of both worlds. Has to be competent in math to work the problems. The occupations that you see here, we have 2 maintenance and sites in South Carolina. We have one in Orangeburg. It's the Husqvarna plant that we do all the maintenance and operations build for, and then we also have the fabrication plant that makes a lot of different parts and do the maintenance for our outages throughout the state, and that's up in Lawrence, South Carolina. But what you'll see here, there's a big need for some of your skilled trades, your boilermakers, your HVAC technicians to do the duct work. Of course, equipment operators are, if you like to ride big equipment and move around as a dozer or crane operator, that you could easily come start out at 23 to 24 an hour working a crane out at one of the construction sites here. So a little bit on the workforce statistics. There's a study that came out, and I tried to find it before the seminar started, but our industry is booming. It's not just in South Carolina, but in the country as a whole. Construction is making a rise. We kind of took a dip, especially your residential construction took a dip when the housing market kind of bottomed out in late of 08 and 09. But we are seeing a rise where we're looking for that next labor pool, that next workforce. And if you look into our industry, there's the sky's the limit right now. We have a lot of our skilled labor and tradesmen that are exiting out of the workforce because they're getting older. They're retiring. In our industry alone, we're seeing 10,000 a year exit out for retirement, and some of those guys and ladies are skilled tradesmen. There are skilled workers, so you could come in easily in our industry as a regular labor, starting out to get your teeth cut, so to speak, making $18 to $19 an hour on one of our sites. And what you'll see here's a little kind of like a little hourly and wage growth on the metric on some of this stuff here, and most of this right here that you're seeing in the webinar, this is our state Department of Employment Workforce has this for our industry, and what you'll see here is some of these rates are for your residential construction that are complement to that. You do need your high school diploma or GED at a bare minimum. If you're looking at trying to get on one of the nuclear stations in construction here, you definitely need that. and you'll see the hourly wages here, but you can almost add an extra $4 to $5 for each of those, starting out in an industrial construction site, which is a little bit bigger, a little the opportunity there, and then of course safety is a big thing as well. So equipment operators, usually at 17 to 19 for VC Summer, or basically any of our industrial sites here in South Carolina, which are 5. We have 5 sites here in the state. Carpenters is a big need. Electricians are a big need, especially for Jenkinsville, because that is what is going to be coming next in 2016. So you'll see a lot of folks, they'll be in high demand, and as a journeyman level, getting the skill set as a carpenter or an industrial carpenter or industrial electrician, you'll be maybe at 25 an hour as a journeyman. So there's definitely opportunity for our industry. Iron workers, we can't find enough of them any of our projects across America, and that's a little bit low that you see there for $23.89, but there right now we're looking for reinforcing iron worker, tie-in rebar on the sites, and that's usually at $29 an hour. That's what that's paying in industrial construction. And then also, if you're looking at the college route as a construction manager, civil engineer, like I said, you could basically write your own paycheck, so to speak. So there's definitely an opportunity, and the industry looks very bright for South Carolina and for North America as a whole. The biggest thing in energy, the biggest area for growth, everybody knows, is Texas and Louisiana, the Gulfport region. But South Carolina's got quite a boom of energy companies coming into our state, trying to find that next labor force for our industry. So it's the outlook is very promising. So how can you prepare for a career in construction? There's kind of like two different routes, and I'll try to shoot a snapshot of what that looks like to Ms. Turner, and hopefully she can get it out to your I guess your career development folks in your schools. But there's 2 different routes. If you're coming in just with your high school diploma, or you're looking at going to a technical school to become a plumber, electrician, an iron worker, a welder, that's what we called a skilled craftsman. Usually that starts green as a laborer, but you would come in as a labor helper for either one of those roles until you get that either that skill set or that training underneath your belt, so to speak. So you would come in at 16 to 18 as a labor helper, and then you would have 6 months time to kind of try to figure out what you want to do on a construction site, whether that's electrician, welder, pipe fitter, iron worker, boilermaker, or whatever skilled craft you can think of, and that would be your track, so to speak, until you get that designation, then hopefully work up to the goal to become a journeyman, which is where you make your money really in our profession. If you're looking at going to college to get a business degree or engineering degree, and you're going to take the designations after that, the PE for your engineering, to be a project manager, or you want to be a supervisor, or you want to be over the warehouse on a construction site. Those things in a logistical background, you would come in as a professional. My job is what they call a professional job as a HR recruiting, and of course you would need a 4-year degree and then hopefully specialize in that. So what we have is human resources, your SPHR designation, or your PHR is a big thing for recruiters in our HR profession here. So that's kind of like the two different tracks: your skilled craft track, and then also your professional track, which requires at a minimum a 4-year degree and extended education. Um, so there's definitely both ways. They're one doesn't pay higher than the other. They both have an opportunity where you can almost write your own paycheck based on the skills that you earn and the training that you get, and of course your education plays a big part in that as well. Just one caveat here as well: when you're preparing for a career in construction, it's always important, and we're not the only one that does it. So if any industry that you're looking at, if you're looking to stay in South Carolina, you got to keep your nose clean. You got to make right choices, right decisions, because most of your major corporations, your major companies, they all do a background check. On a nuclear site, it goes a little more intense check, meaning it goes back to a 10-year look back. So because there's the safety aspect of nuclear power being generated on a nuclear site, your backgrounds are a little more intense. And if you had it could be a DUI, or some type of habitual issue that's on your record, you probably wouldn't be looked at or get the background or the clearance that you need to get on that site. And most of your construction companies, they are looking to do a screening as well. So because there's so much demand in our industry, we do a lot of different projects that are on secure facilities. We have a maintenance project that we do on a couple of our bases here. So a lot of folks have that security clearance, or be able to get one to get on one of our sites. So just always make the right choices, especially it's never too late to start thinking about those when you're thinking about a career and thinking about your future. So just want to throw that caveat in there for our industry here. We do have a lot of workforce development programs. We have apprenticeship programs for most of our trades. We just got registered our electrical apprenticeship, our iron worker, pipe fitter, which is some of the big things that will be in demand of looking to try to find quality talent to fill. So we do have apprenticeships and on-the-job training for some of our positions here that are registered in the state of South Carolina. So that would be an opportunity to prepare for our industry. It could give an opportunity to visit one of our construction sites to just see if you would even be interested. If you like to see things go up and see things created, that's really one of the reasons what drew me to this industry. There's something about seeing nothing on a piece of land, and then within a couple of years you see that into a building that you can say, hey, I had some role in putting that thing together. That's the part of the industry that's just an awesome opportunity to see something created from scratch that is making an impact in not only your community but in your state as a whole. So we do offer some site tours to some of our construction sites that could help you prepare you for a career in construction. We do also offer internships for our college folks. We do have different internships on different divisions depending on what your degree that you're seeking. And then, like I said, the apprenticeships, we have, I believe, 10 registered currently. I think we're working on another 5 to get registered here shortly. That will have a couple more apprenticeships that we can offer folks here. The education and training, like I said, there's 2 different tracks. Both are pretty much pay the same. Whether you want to get the skill set for your seasoned craft worker, or do you want to go to your 2-year or 4-year college to get a degree and then come into our professional side of the business. Again, at the end of the day, whatever you decide, In whatever industry, even if it's not construction, always make the right choices to prepare for your future, because like I said, my parents always told me growing up, every decision that we make, whether good or bad, has a consequence, right? So always make those right choices that could eventually impact your future, especially your career.
Great, thanks, Kyle. I have a question for you. You had talked about your interest in construction, how seeing a piece of land and then you take a couple years and it's built, and then you have out at VC3 you'll have nuclear power plants, and those generators, or I guess reactors, would be working, and you'll have nuclear operators working on them at full force. But what happens to that construction workforce when the reactors are built and the project's finished out in Jenkinsville at VC3 at the nuclear construction site? What opportunities, what happens with that workforce, and what opportunities would be available to our HVAC people or welders out in that area?
Those opportunities, most of your for nuclear construction work, once those new reactors go up and they are built and they are fully functional for 2 and 3, each of those reactors are basically governed by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. But what happens to that, those folks, they usually get taken over by the client. So SCANA is the client that is here in South Carolina. So there would be opportunity that they would become a SC&G employee. But then we would also look at bidding to do the outage work, which is each of those nuclear power plants will what we call go offline. They every 14 months or so to make sure that they're working and there's no kinks of them running. So each of those outages will happen, which companies like our company that do the outage and the maintenance and the upkeep, there'll be opportunity for them to take some of those positions as well. And then also, if you're looking to say, hey, you want to come in this industry, but you also want to kind of see the world or see different parts of the country in North America, we are a global company. We have projects all over the world, all over North America, and so based on what their specialty skill is, there wouldn't be a problem or issue finding them work at another project that we're building or we're maintaining, so to speak, in different parts. And all of our projects outside of 50 miles from that project, we offer the per diem, so that kind of helps on the traveling cost. And then also if you're getting moved to one facility to another for a full-time gig, we do offer a relocation, so it kind of assists with the moving process as well. So that kind of is what happens once they get built. The work won't be as big as the pre-build, but there will be opportunities for the maintenance and the upkeep for the facility.
Great, thank you, Mr. Caldwell. I went ahead, do we have any questions? You could use the chat box, and I can also, I'll go ahead and lift the mute button, so if anybody has some questions, they can come across the speakers and let us know what your students may be interested in learning more about. Does anybody have any questions? So we'll go ahead and just leave the chat box open and submit those if you're interested. But what I was just going to say, it sounds like just hearing from Mr. Caldwell, the more you learn, the more you're going to earn, whether it's that 2-year track or just earning industry credentials and certifications, or taking the 4-year route and landing in one of those professional positions, such as HR, recruiting, project management, and so on. Well, if we don't have any questions, I'd just like to take a moment just to thank Mr. Caldwell for being our guest speaker and sharing about careers in construction, specifically talking a little bit about his industry and experience with Chicago Bridge and Iron out at VC3. Thank you for connecting with MEBA today to learn more about MEBA. You can always visit our website and you connect with us on social media through Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Pinterest. As I had mentioned, I've recorded this presentation and we'll get that uploaded to our website so you can share with additional students, and you students take this information home and share it with your parents as you discuss your career and college planning process. But thank you again for connecting with us, and we will see you next month. The third Thursday in January, we have Mr. James Deal with SCOAS coming to talk with our parents about their role in planning for college and career. Thank you, and happy holidays.